Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the new Hasbro Ultimate Spider-Man Power Webs Spider Swat Venom. Spot chuckled to himself because I always laugh when I've been doing these reviews the last little while. I was kind of laugh at how much there is to say, and I can only hope that all of these will fit in the title when I'm ready to upload them to YouTube. Sometimes you might get that title is a little too long. But needless to say, this comes from the good folks at Hasbro. This is also from the new Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. This is one of the baddies from the line. We've got Venom. Now, I picked up initially the Spider-Man, Iron Spider-Man, and then when I was looking on the back of the package, there's Venom, by the way, smashing arms. Venom attacks with his powerful smash arms. Now, when I was finding these retail, I was able to find Spider-Man, Iron Spider-Man, and I also saw Iron Fist. Now, I didn't pick him up, but when I was looking on Spider-Man's package, maybe it wasn't this Spider-Man, it was another one, I noticed that there was Venom. Luckily enough, I found one Venom. I'm always a big sucker for Venom, so I found him and worked out rather well. Whether it's a good toy or not, we will only know by opening this up, but at least his power web is in areas where at least it makes sense. Spider-Man's just kind of got it on his arm like it's a wristwatch. At least Venom's kind of got it shooting out of his hands. Whoops. What I am going to do is pick the package back up. I'm going to certainly take a break. And when we come back, we're going to get a better look at Power Web's Venom. There's definitely more on the way. Stay tuned. Alright, well, let's have a look at Venom. Aesthetically, he doesn't look too bad. But unfortunately, this figure is pretty bad. Unfortunately, he is pretty bad. Let's first start with the good aspects to this figure. His face isn't too bad. Now, looking at the color of this Venom, you can see that he's not black. This Venom is like a darker, kind of a purpley color Venom. Looking at this figure in packaging, he really reminded me of the Hasbro Spider-Man 3 3/4 inch figures that we just recently got. It was around the same time that we got the Amazing Spider-Man figures were out. It was more of those comic style. And there was a Venom that was this color scheme. Now, that Venom was a decent Venom. Sadly, this one does not have the same thing going for it. He's got some texture work done on his chest, so it's not just simply painted on. It's actually a sculpted piece on his chest. The symbol, he's got a sculpted symbol on the back there as well. I like that. He's got these really, really long arms, really behemoth-sized arms, and he's got these kind of additional spikes. Works really well. As for his power webs, you can see that they come from his hands. So at least, and they're purple too, so they, that works. At least it makes a little more sense. For example, if I bring in, I got Spider-Man here that I just reviewed. On a scale-wise, you can see that Venom obviously is a lot bigger than Spider-Man is. And whereas the Spider-Man, sure, you could say that it looks like it emanates from where his spider web shooters would be. It kind of just looks awkward. At least Venom looks like it's coming out of his hand, and it looks like it makes a little more sense. You probably can see right off the bat the main issue with this figure. For starters, this figure feels really, really light. It feels like it's made out of nothing. It feels like his arms, for starters, are hollow. It possibly might mean his torso's hollow too. It feels like it's a hollow piece. But his arms are really bad. They don't have... Where's the Spider-Man? I'm going to bring him back in. At least the Spider-Man had the articulation that went out, which I think might have also helped when I reviewed him, that at least it seemed like they made efforts.
Whereas if it was just a standard swivel, I might think to myself, come on, Hasbro, really? Could you have given us something? Throw us a bone. Venom doesn't even have that. He has no articulation in the arms aside from what you're seeing right here. His gimmick, because it is what it is, his arms are extremely loose. Extremely loose. Aside from that, he's got articulation in the head, but it's just a standard swivel, and then he's got swiveled legs. They don't even really go that far because of the way his thighs are. His thighs kind of prevent him from moving his legs too far forward, and really prevents him from moving his legs too far back, that he just kind of just stays in place. I shouldn't say that. He does have a rotation in the hand, but I mean, come on, I just feel like it's a cheap figure. This really, to me, and especially this, which is something that coincidentally Spot left off his review, and it occurred to me after the fact, this feels like it could have been a Happy Meal toy, like a fast food premium toy. But because at least they made efforts with the additional articulation, I feel like at least it's something. And the fact that even though you don't like necessarily the accessories that they include, at least the accessories escalate or elevate these figures from simply being fast food premiums to at least something that you could potentially see retail. Because Venom doesn't have that, Venom doesn't have any other accessories aside from what you see here, and because he feels so incredibly flimsy and light, he feels like this guy right here should be a fast food premium. As a fast food premium, I would say, you know, he's an interesting little figure. He doesn't have to be too much because I'm not expecting too much. But then again, these figures are going for about $10 retail, and I almost feel like that Venom is too flimsy, too cheap to be considered, at least for me, a retail release $10 figure. Fast food premium, sure. Retail figure, it's debatable. It really, really is debatable. Now, as for his gimmick, as much as Spot has rambled on for as long as he has, you see that there's these little grooves, these little clips on the back of his legs. Now, what you are going to do with these is you're going to take this power web. You're going to take the power web, and you're going to. You're actually going to peg, as you can see right here. You're going to peg the ball of that power web against the legs like so. And I think I think Spot's done that wrong. Spot's getting ahead of himself here. There we go. We're going to peg it in like so. We take the other hand, take the loop, and we're going to peg it in like so. So essentially what you have, it looks like that. Kind of looks like something Bane would have. Now that will prevent these from coming loose. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take the arm, move it up, and yes, Spot has done this wrong. Hold on a second. There we go. There we go. You basically kind of pull the arm up and let it go. It is something you would almost have expected in the 80s with the Superpowers figures. But it almost seems like because they're using this rubbery accessory, they've almost moved down in toy advancements to what we would have gotten in something in the 80s. There's the other arm, by the way. So yes, that is in fact all that Venom does. I hate to say it, I hate to be so hard on a toy, but I really feel like this should have not been something that was released in retail. This should have been something that we would have gotten at a fast food place. I don't know. Detail-wise, he ain't bad. At least he's a little bit bigger than Spider-Man. But I mean, really, this gimmick, and as you can see, the rubber power web gets stuck around his hands, which doesn't help either. But I mean, this gimmick right here, just doesn't feel like there's enough going on for it that I would say is worth paying $10, possibly even more, for a figure like this. If you ask Spot, as much as I love Venom, I think this figure is a pass. And I think I'm going to give Venom here, I'm going to give, what do we got here? Spider Swat Venom. I think I'm going to give him a measly 5. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the new Hasbro Ultimate Spider-Man Power Webs.
Today we're having a look at the Power Webs Spider Swat Venom. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys, and I'll see you next time.